The Guelph Griffins played host to the Windsor Lancers in their Labor Day matchup. Both teams coming off big wins in Week 1, looking to get an early streak going. Pick it up 2-0 Windsor in the first, Guelph punting on third down, and Daniel Ferrero gets a hold of his kick. Cody McCann back to receive for the Lancers, but he can't seem to pick up the bouncing ball, and James Ingram makes him pay, pouncing on it in the end zone. The Griffins take the lead, it's 7-2. Just a few minutes later, Guelph with possession, and Jazz Lindsay hooks up with his brother Saxon. A great catch by the fifth-year receiver. That would lead to a field goal, and the Griffins lead 10-2. To the second quarter, and cue Austin Kennedy. First, he finds Nathan O'Halloran down the far side. That's a 32-yard gain, and the Lancers enter Griffin territory. Then, on the same drive, Kennedy finds Bo Lumley, who gains the red zone. Kennedy totaled 335 yards passing and 6 touchdowns in Week 1, and make that 7 on the year, as he connects with Evan Pachonik on the 7-yard score, and the Lancers cut the lead to 3. 12-10 now for Guelph, faced with second and long from their own 10-yard line, and Lindsay is met by a wall of Lancers. He does his best job to scramble, but just couldn't get a play off, so he settles for the out of bounds. That would force the Griffins to concede the safety, and Windsor ties it up at 12. They'd had a rouge before the end of the half, taking a 1-point lead into the break. So to the second half we go, and what a start for the Guelph defense. Less than a minute into the third quarter, it's Taylor Palmer turning the pick six, and the Griffins regain the lead. And they weren't done there. Windsor punting on third down, and watch this return by Audrey Fraser. The ball taking a few bounces before picking it up, and he finds a hole, breaking a couple tackles and bringing it back to the Lancers' 40-yard line. Another big play from the Griffin special teams. That would lead to another field goal, and Guelph extends their lead. It's now 21-13. But if this game has shown anything, no lead is safe. Windsor with 2nd and 10 at midfield. Kennedy looking downfield but sees nothing, so he calls his own number. And the Lancer QB has some wheels as he picks up the first down and more. Then he decides to let Gilbert Stewart stretch his legs, and Stewart goes right up the middle, somehow finding a hole. He takes it all the way to the Griffins' 9-yard line, and Kennedy finishes it off with yet another touchdown pass, this one to Scott McEwen, and just like that, the Lancers are within 1 going into the final quarter. Halfway through the fourth now, Windsor with the ball again, and Kennedy decides to air it out to his favorite receiver, and why not? Pachonik making a fantastic grab. Then on second down, Kennedy looking end zone and sees a wide open receiver, but his throw is just out of reach, so the Lancers would settle for a field goal and take a 23-21 lead. So it would all come down to the final drive for the Griffins. Starting deep in their own territory, Lindsay takes a snap and rolls left, then tosses the switch to Alexander Charette, and he gets on his horse, taking it down the sideline 45 yards, and the Griffins are nearing field goal territory. But Lindsay knows he needs a few more yards for his kicker, and he would do just that, throwing a perfect pass to his brother Saxon inside the 20. Guelph marching downfield 87 yards in their final drive, and all to set up a nail-biter. With just 9 seconds to go, Ferrero in to kick the field goal for the win. The Griffins' incredible final drive is capped off by a Ferrero field goal, and Guelph moves to 2-0 on the season as they defeat the Windsor Lancers 24-23 the final.
I'm exhausted. I didn't do any running around. But credit to the offense. They struggled all day, but when it came down to crunch time, they produced. And as I was coming into this season, I knew we were going to be a more talented team, but I didn't know if we had the leadership, losing a lot of good players. But today they showed a lot of the leadership we had last year. So credit to them. I'm so proud of what they did.
The main thing I tried to keep in everyone's heads and in my head as well is, just just keep breathing, just calm down. You know, you make a big play on the sideline, that throw, or, you know, a big run, a lot of guys tend to get a little excited, and that's when mistakes happen. You know, that's when they forget what's going on, and they're so focused on the fact that we might pull away this win that they lose train of thought on what they're supposed to be doing. So, you know, my main thing was just stay calm, you know.
For the Guelph Griffins, I'm Chad Leach.